Okay, it's 10. Do we want to start letting people in? Are we good with that? Sweet.
Okay. Ryu!
Ryu's here?
Yeah. Can I change his name?
Yes, do it.
Okay. Once I'll resend the link.
Good morning, Anthony. How are you? Good to see you.
Good.
I don't know how many times I've said that.
Maybe just do it like 10:05.
That's true. That's
You want me to stop recording?
Oh, no. Continue. Or at your own discretion.
Okay, cool. One person is still, I've admitted them, but they're still joining. It's been like a minute. Weird. Okay. How was your morning, Mr. Palacios?
Going good. It's humid today. It's hot and humid.
Oh, really? I haven't been outside
Yes.
yet, so I haven't checked.
Yes. And apparently this weekend and next week is like being in hell. It's going to be in the 90s, and sometimes it say that it can go to 100s.
What?
So, yes, so I already have my surfboard in my car. So every time it gets hot, go to the ocean, refresh, back. That's my plan.
That sounds like a wonderful plan.
Yes.
Do you have?
And I bought a bag of lemons, so a lemonade for the whole week will be nice.
Nice. That sounds wonderful. I think I should try that.
Yes, definitely.
Do you have the video that you wanted to show us today?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. I think we can just start with that. I think that would be great.
Can you see what I have in my screen, or do you want me to share it with you guys?
I think you need to share your screen with us first.
Okay, let me see. How do I do that? Screen share. Here we are. Share screen. Okay. By the way, you are allowed to laugh.
Okay, wonderful.
Everybody's allowed to laugh.
Thank you.
Let me see if I'm doing this right, which it could be is a 50-50 chance. Give me a second.
We can't see your screen yet.
Yeah, 1 second.
Cool.
I needed one previous step that it takes. My computer is about as old as I am, so. Come on. I have to allow my computer to share, and I need to change one command, and it will be ready, I hope, very soon.
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted. That sounds great.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Okay, here we go. Share.
Yes, we can see it now.
Now? Okay, so let me find these. As I told you, you are allowed to laugh.
Okay.
I believe I was 23 when I did this. Let me, 1 second. What is not showing here? Let's see. One second. I don't know what's happening now.
That's totally okay.
Give me a second. Give me a second, see if I can have this going on. 1 second. I don't know what's going on here.
No problem. And if you need a little bit more time, we could watch this at the end. Either way is totally okay.
It's yes, last chance.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Did anybody had access to the Schubert Rosamunde score?
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah, I
has
think
access?
that we all do.
Okay, so if all of you can open that, will be great, and we start talking about that in 1 second. In 1 second. Okay, so let's listen to the piece for 1 second, and then I don't know what's going on here with my computer. Is going crazy. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let's listen to the piece a little bit and then we will talk. And try to get as much information you can from the first time you hear it. What do I mean by as much information? See if the themes repeat himself. We're going to do just the introduction. If how many small themes are in that introduction. Are those themes play one instrument or more? I mean, try to get as much information as you can from the beginning, okay? Let's listen just to the introduction. Sorry. Here we go.
Pretty low, just go, yeah, just go back. Don't move, man, he's gonna hit you. You fucking idiot.
I think that was not me. Somebody has a Turkish music, which is very nice. But let's give it a try, another try. Here we go.
Maestro, are your headphones connected to your computer?
I'm sorry?
Are your headphones connected to your computer?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so we can only hear if you take them out.
Of course. Even that I have it
Sorry.
screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Talk a little bit about this. How many teams do you find in this overture? Can you hear me? One sec. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We were just thinking.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Do you have in the first couple bars, do you have also a sforzato mark? All of you agree on that? Oh, that very good. How do you guys as an instrumentalist approach that sforzato? And I will give you some options. You can play it a nice down bow, and that will be, and then go to piano. You can do a diminuendo forte to piano. That's another way you can do it. You can do it a dry accent and then put a little break and then keep doing the movement of the bow. Or if you're play a woodwind instrument, how would you will attack strong and make it subito piano as an sforzato. You will make a forte diminuendo to piano. And if you do that, where do you start the diminuendo? Or you make an attack, make a break, and start the piano. What do you think? And this is Schubert. And this is the responsibility of the orchestra player. What do you think? Okay, let's try to approach the same question from a different perspective. If you play Stravinsky, okay, that's the beginning of the 20th century, and you have an sforzato, how would you play that sforzato? Dry, that would be Stravinsky.
Yeah.
Okay, if you play Bach, Baroque music, of course there were not forzatos over there, there were some accents over there, but if you play some sforzato, would be something like po, something like that. How do we do it in Schubert? How do we do it in Beethoven? How do we do it in Mendelssohn?
I think you talked about one of the earlier options was like kind of pressing in the beginning and then letting go towards, like, for me, I play cello, so towards the end of the bow, kind of letting you use.
Yes, I will. That's the way, Diana. I will start with the fast movement of my bow, and then little by little, take a little bit of the tension, release the tension, but keep the moving, the movement of the bow go down. So we have a little more weight on the sound, and that will create a resonance after that. Okay, so that's one of the things you have to know as an instrumentalist, how to approach those things right away. If I'm talking, of course, all of you are students, and you don't, at the level you are, the conductors don't expect you guys to know those things, but I'm talking to you now if you are applying for a professional orchestra, okay? So you will attack it, release the tension, but the movement will go. And then do you retake, or you go up bow for the second bar? What do you think?
Retake.
Retake. That's an option. That's an option. Either one, it will go, because look at, you have 3 bars. So you go down, up, down, very low, down, very low. Compare the first 3 bars with the second 3 bars. What's the difference there? The composer goes up a half step. Do approach that differently? No need for that. No need for that. We approach it the same way, and because the important thing over here is first to establish, are we major or minor key, by the way?
When I was listening to it, it sounded like it started major.
We are in C minor.
Oh, my bad.
Minor, okay? Look at, is in C, and we have the E flat, so the first chord is the C minor chord, okay? He's preparing the solo. So we have like a very, very dramatic first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. Of course, the last one is, the first phrase is 3 bars and then 4 bars, because he's doing an extra chord to prepare for the formata bar. Okay, so we approach those different, and I will do it down, up, down. Probably I will do it down, up. For the last one, I will go down, up, down, down. So I will create a little more tension on that. Of course, that will be one of the questions that you can ask, because maybe some conductors will go down, up, down in the formata, and then the next phrase they will attack it oboe. Okay, that also depends how much break that conductor wants. I belong to the school that after the first formata, I will cut completely the sound, and we will re-attack down bow after that. Okay, that's for me. So let's talk a little bit about that first theme that we have. Is beautiful. That the first theme is played by who? You can open your microphones because I see some of the lips moving, but I cannot hear you guys. Who do you think is playing the first theme?
It was the
Oboe.
it
Oboe.
was
Very nice.
yeah.
But what is peculiar about that? What is peculiar about that theme? Do you think that theme is made out of one line or two lines or one line in counterpoint for two voices? What do you think? I mean, once again, I'm putting you, this is a new way of thinking for you guys, but once you get to a professional orchestra or you're going to, some of you going to college, these are the type of things that you already have to know. I mean, not many people in their orchestra, most of them, they just sit and play the note, but the ones who can think and put together the music as a whole are probably the leaders of the orchestra. So what do you think that the first thing goes? You think it's one melody, it's a melody divided in two instruments, or is a melody in counterpoint in two voices? What will you say? Or maybe I should explain a little bit. If we have just one instrument playing the solo, that's very easy, everybody will recognize. Then we can have a melody made out of two instruments playing something different, but both are the melody. Or we can have just one melody divided in two instruments and they interact one with the other. So they play in counterpoint. What do you think is the case for this one?
I think probably the last one, like when they're playing in counterpoint with the clarinets.
Okay, let's can you hear the music now?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, oboe and clarinet. Clarinet now.
Can anyone else hear the?
Nobody can
okay.
hear it?
No. Maestro, do you mind if Gabby actually shares her audio for the piece? Because I think she has it pulled up.
Let me stop. 1 second. So is something that I need to modify or you guys?
I think that we can do it. Thank you.
Yeah, Gabby has it. Thank you.
I'm gonna just play from the beginning. Can someone tell me if you hear it or not?
Okay, let's play the music again.
Good.
Stop the music, stop. 1 second, I have a question. Which formata do you think is going to be longer? The first one or the second one?
The second.
And why?
Because it's the second one, there's more emphasis.
In more emphasis and take us to the root of the chord. Okay, the first one is it ends in the kind of a dissonant, and the second one second that. So we establish that we are in C minor. Keep going, please. And now pay attention. We have two things, two textures here. We have an oboe clarinet playing the thing, and look what the strings are doing. And we are in 3/4. And pay attention to the second violins. If you play second violins, what are you doing? Okay, keep going, please. Good. That's it. That's it. Stop there. Very nice. Very nice. So what do you think now of the melody?
I could definitely hear the clarinets and the oboes, like they were playing a very similar melody and kind of intertwined with each other.
I will agree with you. I think it's a one melody that sometimes the composer is split into. Which instrument do you think is more important, the clarinet or the oboe?
I think the oboe.
Oh, I can give you another answer. What do you think? Is there the oboe that is more important, the clarinet important, or they are both equally important? That's the third option. Let's see if your guys are conducting this piece and you come to here and he will go, okay, you and you hear, I don't know, what would you like to hear? A oboe leading the whole section, or the oboe and clarinet leading the whole section, or the clarinet leading the section? What do you think? We're in Schubert. We're in Schubert.
Maybe both?
I would agree with you, Diana. I think both are equally important. Look at the registers. The register of the oboe is in the high register where the oboe is powerful in that section. The clarinet, even that the clarinet has very balanced registers, is a little in the melancholic, if you want to call it, in a melancholic range. So it's a beautiful idea by Schubert that even that both instruments are equally important. They are, because he's played those things in an octave apart. He could have write the same line for the oboe an octave lower, and it will work too. But when he splits, he was automatically the oboe. You will follow the line of the oboe, and the clarinet will be like an embellishment of that. Very clever, very clever. What will happen now if we move the same line and we are playing Debussy? What will be different approach if we playing Debussy or Ravel or Fauré or Duraflé or Satie or those things? What will be the idea of those? And let's move now, just for the sake of the argument, the oboe an octave lower. What is the intention of the composer if we are in the Impressionist and we have the same line? What do you think? Okay, let me help you with that, because this is kind of a philosophical answer. Well, not philosophical, but it's the way you should know. Have you all of you have seen any of the paintings from the Impressionists? Any
Yes.
Monet, Cézanne, Rousseau, any of those. They are made out of very, very small points all over. So if you get very, very close to the painting, you see nothing. There is no figures there. But once you start to move away, everything starts to make sense. And if you are, I don't know, 12, 15 feet from the painting, is absolutely perfect. You can see even a detail in the skin of the lady, or a little flower in the hat. You can see all the details, because it will create a feeling of that. So it's a question of fusion of colors. The fusion of colors at the beginning, when you put those together and you move back, then you are able to see an image. But if you are very close, you won't be able to see. If you translate the same type of definition to music, when you play French music, Debussy, Ravel, when you have a solo, even an unison of two instruments, none of the instrument is more important. If you have a solo of the clarinet and the oboe, you don't want to hear neither the clarinet or the oboe. You want to hear a new sound, a completely new sound made out of the combination of both sounds. So they have to be equally and perfectly balanced. So if you are listening to this and you say, okay, this is a solo, an oboe solo, they are playing the wrong music in Debussy. You should not be able to distinguish if that's an oboe or the clarinet playing the same line. You should be able to say, wow, what a color is created by that combination, that now I can hear something completely different that I didn't hear before. Okay, so that's a little different that when you guys are playing an orchestra and have I'm playing French music, but by the way, that's my favorite beside Beethoven. That's my favorite period of music.
Me too.
Good. And so is you and you have a solo in an instrument that and two instruments. If you hear one instrument is dominating the sound of the other ones, you are approaching that wrong. You have to be able to make a completely fusion, 100% fusion, and create a new sound that you didn't hear before. Okay. And now, if we can go, Gabriel, if we can go back to the oboe solo and and oboe clarinet, and then, no, one more thing. Do you all have the score? Look
Yeah.
at this. Look at the second violin parts. We are in viola, cello, and second violins. Look at them. Who plays the downbeats? Who plays downbeats? Cello bass playing downbeat. Boom, boom, just harmony. Boom, 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 boom. And let's stop there. Let's stop there. And then, of course, the strings do an extra bar to be able to do it as a transition. So we agree that the cello are doing the downbeats. And the first, second violins, what do you have in the first beat?
A rest.
A rest. And then you have two quarter notes. How do you, in the orchestra, we are in a 3/4. How do you approach those two quarter notes? Are those two quarter notes equally important, or is there a difference between that? So what do you think?
Aren't they more afterthoughts to the cello and bass?
You think, I mean, we have the cello playing in the 3/4. Let's see, which one is the strongest beat?
First,
First. After that?
second, and third.
I agree with Esther. The second beat is more important, and the third beat is almost no importance. So if you play a second violin, you have an ascending interval, but that's the natural way for you to play is a but you are in 3/4. It's not a waltz, so you have to be able to play the third beat in the volume lower than the second beat. It's almost an echo with a nice vibrato, but it has to sound with an echo. Okay, so because we have one and then two give already the harmony, and third beat is a reinforcement of that. So if you are playing you should know right away that you cannot play because you are playing the wrong music. Okay, so be careful with that. Those things you should know. You are if that was probably a 4/4 and you were playing triples, I will agree that you make a little emphasis on the third one, a little cantabile on the third on that third note, as you probably do in Rimsky-Korsakov Sherazade. You will do that, but over here is very delicate because Schubert, a super clever guy, 31 years old. This guy lives 31 years old and created one of the most beautiful music ever. So Gabriel, if you don't mind, can we play one more time from the same spot, please? And now pay attention to all the things that I told you. Texture in the top and texture in the bottom. And now modulation. Extra bar, bridge, and now we go. Same motif, the sforzatos, echo. And now, cantabile again. Now, violins, nice vibrato. Look at what they're doing in the bottom with the quarter note rest and the third beat. You don't hear the third beat. One. Let's see if we have the extra bar. Extra bar again. Something now. Same motif at the beginning. Same motif. We have it. Chord, melody, chord. Now we are using a bridge to go to something different. No, it takes us back. Same thing, same motif. Echo, down. Combination of the two motifs, the chord and the melody. Okay, let's stop there. 1 second. Let's stop there. Gabriel, please. Good. What do you think the composer is doing that is very, very, very clever? You go pam, pa-di, da, da. You start with the upper part. You start with the flutes, and then who goes to the clarinets, and then he goes to the bassoon. So he's descending, descending. So if you are an instrumentalist, how do you approach that? If you're going down, do you think every time you have pa, di, di, da, pa, is the same intensity, different intensity, or you just go with the tessiture of the design of the melody? What do you think?
I think that every time that it repeats, you're doing a decrescendo. So within the measure, you're decrescendoing, but you're also doing that overall.
Very good. I will say I won't lose the attack of the sforzato. I will try to make it deep, but my echo, I would go from a very pointed to a very subtle and almost nothing, and then that will connect me to the other one. Look how clever the composer is here. That's Schubert. He's doing same. We have so far, we have here two textures. We have the chords and we have melody. And then he's combining both things. And now he's doing a transition. Pa, pi, di, da, pa. We have this sforzando. Di, da, da, pa. Di, da, da. And let's see what's next. Please, Gabriel, from that same spot. Now, he's preparing the allegro. Stop there. Second. What new rhythmic figure Schubert is introducing in that transition that we haven't heard before? The 60th note. The 60th note. If you are an instrument, how do you play that 60th note?
Well, on the cello, you would usually just do like a really, really tiny up bow to do it, like almost as if you're hooking it, but and then you would just.
You will go tam, ba bam, ba bam, or you go bam, ba bam, ba bam. Which one would you go?
Let me look at the cello music. Oh, I don't think my part does it, but
I think it's in the violins.
Oh, okay. Let me look at that one. Oh, I would probably go like hook it at the very end of the bow.
but you will go down, down, up, up, down, or you go down, up, down, up, down.
I would probably go down, down, up, down.
Me too. I will probably do the same thing. But that 16 note cannot have to be very precise. Why? Because before in the oboe and the clarinet we have heard triples. So we have to make sure we don't confuse, we don't play it too expressivo, that 16 note, because it's going to sound like a 60, like a triple. So we have to ta 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 ta. We have to be able to make that differentiation. So if you are playing first violin in that section, you have to make sure your subdivision is properly in 60 note. Okay, now I think that's the whole introduction. Let's hear the whole introduction, Gabriel, please, from the beginning, and put attention. And now hear the two different textures that we have. First the chords, and then the melody. And here we are in 3/4. Look how he treats the third beat. All the harmony is happening in the down beats, not in the third beats. Okay. Okay, but the only thing he used the third beat is to modulate to a major, to the 5th degree of the scales, which in C minor, of course, is G major. Okay, so let's see now if you can put together the intellectually the whole idea of the introduction of this piece. Please, Gabriel. Lyrical. Clarinet. In triples, we haven't heard the first 16 note yet. The triples make it expressivo. It's easier to make expressivo in the triples. We're still in triples, no 16 notes. Now, a little melody. Now, motif number 1. Now, echo in the same harmonic chord. Now we invert. First was chords in the strings and echo there. Now it's the opposite way. We're still with the triples. Now 16. We're going down. Second time, now we have the bassoon. Third time, taking off instruments. Now we have it in the cellos. Now he's preparing the allegro with the 60 note. And then back to the first motif. Okay, stop there, stop there. were you able to now put together the whole idea of the first of this introduction? You see, I mean, it's what I was talking a little bit yesterday. I mean, is always, I would say, about 97, 98% of the musicians in the world who play in orchestra, professional, very good musicians, absolutely musicians, they will never figure out. They will play the notes of this without really making sure what's going on inside the music. Just those, the 2%, 3%, 4%, if you're lucky, of the musicians, that they do know that can make a difference. For example, if you have the chance, there was a youth orchestra in Europe. It's called the European Youth Orchestra. That doesn't mean they were in high school. They were all, I would say, younger than 25, 26, 27 years old. But they had one peculiarity. It was conducted by Maestro Claudio Baro. A very fantastic human being, beautiful, beautiful human being. I had the pleasure of meeting him many times. But he had one thing. It was a requirement for all of those in that orchestra to play chamber music. You could be Isaac Stern, but if you didn't have a background in chamber music, you were not accepted to the orchestra. Why? Because in chamber music, you are obligated to listen to everybody else, to see match colors, match articulation, and all that. So you are obligated to listen. You cannot play a string quartet if you don't know what the other parts are doing. That's absolutely, I mean, actually, that's impossible. I mean, you have to react to what's going on. And that's what he wanted to with that orchestra, Youth Orchestra of Europe. And I had the pleasure of seeing them. The first time I saw the orchestra in Boston, they were playing one of my favorite pieces, Stravinsky Pulcinella Suite. It's a ballet that Stravinsky wrote in 1919, very nice one. And it's kind of a Baroque sound. But I mean, it was like watching one person per instrument in the whole orchestra. Everybody was playing together because you can see the phrase going from one. I mean, he was barely moving, but you can see the orchestra was moving. The orchestra was breathing. The orchestra was reacting between them. It was Maestro Baro was just doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or whatever he went. But everybody, you can see the eyes brown going down, up and down. I mean, it was a beautiful because everybody was integrated into that. And that was a fantastic experience. And that's what I always try to say. You have to be able somehow to start training yourself and see what is your responsibility as a musician when you play the parts. Am I here in the background? I'm in the front. How do I play with both in both situations? Look at what I say to the second violin. Second violins believe that they are. I mean, they don't play they are not that as important of the first violin. And Esther was the best second violinist ever that I've seen SDYS. By the way, she was. I mean, when she was my principal second violin, the second violin section rocked very hard, and I love that. But you see, in that the second violins in that once the oboe and the clarinet start playing, if you don't have if you have a second violin section that plays tira tara, ruins the whole thing. But if they play correctly, it gives you the sensation of you moving from bar to bar because they play 2, 3. 2, 3, so that syncopation moves you from bar to bar. But if you put an accent in the third beat, if you take you 1, 1, 1, that's all you hear, and you don't want to hear that because that will be stationary, and that will lose all the Schubert intention over there. Okay, so I'm gonna let's see if now I'm gonna give you a little. We're gonna cheat a little bit. If you know, I'm gonna put you a video of this piece. We're gonna listen to this whole piece, just really close, or a little bit almost to the end. And it's a video that I find that has the analysis of the whole piece. Okay, so if I can share my screen, I don't know if you tell me how to do it. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen.
One thing, Mr. Palacios, when you click share screen, look on the bottom left corner and you can click share with sound.
Okay, perfecto. Okay, share. I will say sharing my screen, but I don't see it. 1 second. Where? 1 second. Let me go back over here. Let me see in the bill selection, same season, audio setting audio. Where do I put the share with audio? Do I do it now or once I start sharing?
Before you start sharing, it should be in the, when you click the green button, if you look at the bottom left corner.
Left corner, where they say, where they have a microphone?
It says, it should pop up a window. I don't know.
Let me see 1 second here. Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm slow, but I get now. So, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Now, I'm gonna put everything, all the information that you need as an analysis is gonna be here. If you can read the comments, those are most of the time are quite good. A bassoon, new color. What a composer, what a composer. 31 years old, I cannot believe it. Look at the fortepiano. Completely different approach of 20th century music. Both first violin divisi, both equally important. But if you play for me, I will give emphasis to the ones playing the low register. Look at the woodwinds now, the forte piano, how they achieve that. That forte is in relation with the forte in the strings. No, 16, 32 32s. I'm sorry, my apologies. You see, now descending. It's moving, taking away instrument. Now violoncello. Look at the line in the viola, fantastic line. They are holding the whole string section together, the violas. Now, very playful. building chord. Now transition. We move into the second theme. Now, look at completely new atmosphere. Now is a clarinet bassoon. Look at that accent in the third beat. How beautiful they achieve that. It's like a tenuto in the woodwinds. It's amazing. Very creative. Dialogue. New theme. Same motif. Listen to the trombone. 30 seconds. Same thing he did in the introduction. Look how he cleans the whole thing. Etc. And then we go back to the whole thing. Okay, so this is so you can see now that the music per se. I mean, there are a few things that we, the conductors, are responsible, but our function as a conductors, if you have to give you enough information for you guys to honor and respect the composer. I mean, before at the beginning of the 20th century, the conductor thought they were gods, and they would change the ideas of the composers all the time. They would make accelerandos, rallentando, rubato, and then he became this fantastic Italian guy called Arturo Toscanini, and he killed almost that way of thinking, and they say now we do have to respect the intention of the composer, and that's the school I belong to. Is we don't interfere, we just respect that. We give you information to the orchestra. Of course, everybody has a different idea what the composer wants, but that's the idea for that is that we respect what the composers want. Okay? I mean, the composer wants. We try to interfere. But you see how complex. I throw you, yes, we went to the introduction, and we took us 1 hour, and that's just the first layer. That's the introduction. So imagine now we have to go to the allegro, and it will take us another 3, 4, 5 hours to go to the whole piece, because the details are there. We have to be able, how do I respect that accent that have in the third beat? Those are fantastic. How do I do that if I play a woodwind instrument? Do I overblow? I mean, do I reattack the note? What do I do that as a wind player? So those things we have to take all those things into consideration. If we just play the notes, we belong to that 90% of the musicians in the world that we don't want to be part of. We want to be part of the other three. Okay, so let me see if before we go, because I know we're running out of time. I think we have 1 minute. Let's see if I can have my video so you can see how beautiful I was. Let me share my. Let me put this. Let me share my screen, of course. Oof, when I put it to share the screen, it goes gray. So maybe, well, we leave that for another opportunity. We leave that. Let's see if. Oh no, here we go. Can you see it?
No, not
No.
yet. Would you share your screen again?
Let me see. No, it doesn't go. It doesn't like me.
Oh, we
Doesn't.
can hear it.
Well, you have to take my word. I was beautiful.
We will take your word for it.
Okay. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it, this thing. But I want you to start thinking differently. Differently. This is I know this is you are not used to this way of thinking, but this is how I want you to start thinking about music. It's not play the note. And the best exercise you can do, the best way you can approach this thing is play chamber music. Chamber music. Okay. So if you play chamber music, you react, you try to do that. I'm coaching some of the four ladies from Sinfonia, and there are some of them they moved to Ovation this year. They're doing some string quartet, and I was there with them last weekend, and they are already trying to react to one another, and is beautiful what they are creating. So that's the best exercise that you can do is play chamber music. Chamber music. One last challenge for Mia that I have for you in the Beethoven First Symphony, fourth movement. Okay, the first, I think there are 12 bars. You have to don't conduct that. You have to play it for me either in the violin or in the flute. Sol la si do, sol la si
The
do
fourth
re.
movement.
Fourth one, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa. You have to play it the way you want. Don't conduct. Just play those until you go to the sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, mi, do, re, mi, do, re, mi. Once you get to the allegro, I don't care about that. But you have to play it whatever you want, but you have to be able to play those A bars, and then your body will follow the conducting. Will be no problem with that. Anybody if who wants to do that, and once you do that, you can contact me, and I will listen to you. But don't conduct it. Play it either in the flute, in the violin, any instruments that you want. But you have to be sol la si do, sol la si do re. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa. Sol, la, si, do, re, mi, fa, sol, sol, mi. Do, re, mi, do, re, mi. Do, sol, la, si, do, re, mi, sol, sol, mi. Do, etc., etc., etc. But just the opening. But you have to come up with your version in the instrument, not with that. This is a different business later on. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. I hope you
Thank you,
enjoy
Mr.
it.
Palacios.
Once again, thank you to Esther, Diana, and of course, Gabriel, who was in a very important piece today. And I hope you like it. I hope I opened the eyes for you to how to approach music from now on. And please, of course, if you need me for anything, any consultation, I mean, please do, and I will be more than happy to give you an answer. If I don't know the answer, of course, I will make up one. No, I'm kidding. I will find it. I will find it. I have plenty of friends that I can contact. But the important thing is that you have to create your own questions. That I always say, I have a lot of questions. I haven't been able to find answers for all. But sometimes, if I'm lucky, I will find maybe an answer a month, and that's good. But I create about 200 questions in a month that I have no answer. But if I have an answer for at least one a month, I think I'm doing quite good. But you have to be able to ask yourself questions. If you don't ask yourself questions, you're always in the same place, always in the same place, and that's not nice. That's not nice. And we as an artist, the only way we can move forward is with that excitement, with that continuous process of thinking. I remember, this is my last story. I know we are running out of time. This is my last story. I was very good friend of one of artists who lives in Paris. He was from Venezuela. He passed away last year. He was one of the most amazing I would say artist. This was not a painting. He created his own style. This is called the Cinetic movement. And I have one of his pieces over here in my house. And he's one of the guys that I have respect the most. And sometimes when I was in Paris, I stayed with him and his family and all that. And his son was a photographer that we were very good friends, etc., etc. So he told me that, he said, Juan, when I moved to France to study, I went to his place to live with him, and he said, Juan, as an artist, you have to ask yourself questions all the time. That's what I do. If you ask me right now, what do I do? What can you do with 20,000 bowling balls? I have a solution. I have a solution. I know what to do with 20,000 bowling balls. Do you? No, you don't, because you haven't asked that question. If somebody asks you, okay, I want you to make a piece, an art piece with 2,000 bowling balls, what are you going to do? You're going to start thinking? No. You have to think all the way. Of course, he was making some illustration to be funny, but that phrase has stuck with me all my life. I have to think. I mean, if you give me now, of course, if you give me 2,000 bowling balls, I know what to do. I have a sculpture in my mind that I will do it with 2,000 bowling balls. But if nobody asked you before, then you say, wow, bowling balls, those are too heavy. No, I don't care if they're heavy. No, I mean, how do you use some round things that are heavy, but they can move and all that? That's the idea. So that's what I wanted you to think when you do music. Just make sure you do. How do I do that? How do I accomplish that? How do I make this sound? When I play Impressionist, what's the difference of the Sforzato, Stravinsky versus Bach versus Beethoven? Those are the things. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Palacios.
And
Thank
I
you
hope,
so much, Mr.
and I hope I see you very, very soon. If this pandemic, I hope it gets over very soon, because I'm going crazy here.
We hope so as well.
Thank you
so
all
much,
of you.
Palacios. Take care.
Yeah.